along with the video. There are many ways to find the square root of a number, but the method we're going to do today is the prime factorization method. So the first number we're going to be finding the square root of is 625. Now, I mentioned that we're doing the prime factorization method. That means that all the numbers that we're going to use this method on has to be a prime number. So I think we have gone past prime number before when we were learning fractions. So what were they? Yes, you got it right. They're the numbers that have themselves and 1 only as their factors. So for example, 2, 3, 5, 7, and many more. So what we're going to do is first you're going to put like an L shape. And now we're going to look at 625. So what prime number you can divide 625 with? Not 1, 2, 5, because 5 is at the end. It's the unit digit. So why don't we divide it by 5? Yeah. So now the first number we have is 6. Well, 6 is not in the 5 times table, but it is close to 5 itself, which is 5 times 1. So we can do that. Now the carryover, there's 1 remaining, right? That's going to go to the next number, and this is going to be 12. So there's no 12 in the 5 times table either, but there is a 10. So 5 times 2 is 10. And 2, because 12 minus 10 is going to be 2. So 2 is going to carry over to the next number, which is 5. So it's going to become 25. 5 times 5 is 25. So now we have 125. We're going to do the same thing again. You're going to put another L thingy, and now we're going to again divide. So what number should we use? There's a 5 at the unit digit. So let's use 5. I'm going to put a 5. And now 1 is definitely not in the 5 times table. So let's take 1 and 2 together. So that's going to become 12. Now 12 is not in the 5 times table, but 10 is. So let's put a 2 because 5 times 2 is 10. And 2 is going to be the remainder, and that's going to become a 25. And we know that 5 times 5 is a 25. Now let's do it all over again, huh? Now, we know by looking at this that this is divisible by 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And then 5 is divisible by 5, isn't it? So that's going to be a 5, and that's going to become a 1 because 5 divided by 5 is 1. Now, we've done it. Now, what do you notice? You can notice that all these numbers have a pair. There are 2 5s. There are another 2 5s. So there are 2 pairs of 5. Now, this has a purpose. When you're doing the prime factorization method, all the the numbers you get here has to be in pairs. If you don't get them in pairs, you've either done something wrong in the middle, or that number you've prime factorized is not a square number. Now, what you're going to do to find the square root of the number is you're going to take 1 from each pair. So we have 2 pairs of 5. So 1 pair is this. So I'm going to take just 1 5 from 1 pair. And another pair, I'm just going to take another 5. Now we're going to multiply 5 times 5, which is 25. So now we know the square root of 625. It's 25. So the next number we have to find the square root of is 1024. Now, remember the steps. Now, which number we can divide 1024 with? Well, the ending number is a 4, and we know that 4 is 4 can be divided by 2. So why don't we divide it by 2? Because 2 is a prime number. So I'm going to put a 2 here. And 1 obviously is less than 2. So we can't take that. So we're going to take 10, the next number along with it. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then 2, 1, because 2 times 1 is 2. And then 4, 2 times 2 is 4. So now we have this. Now it ends with 2, which is divisible by 2. So we're going to divide it by 2 again. So 5 is not in the 2 times table, but 4 is. 2 times 2 is 4. A remainder, 1 is going to go here. So it's going to be 11. There's 11 is also not part of the 2 times table, but 10 is. So I'm going to put a 5. Again, the remainder is going to go here, which is going to make it 12. But 12 is part of the 2 times table. 6 times 2 is 12. So now let's do it all over again. This is a bit tiring, isn't it? Okay, now the ending number is 6. Now, we know that 6 can be divided by 2. So let's take 2 again. So 1 times 2 is 2. 5 is not part of the 2 timetable, but we're going to take 4. And it's going to become 16. And that's 8. Now 8 again can be divisible by 2 because 8 is in the 2 timetable. So I'm going to put 2. 1, we can't do it, so we're going to take 12. So it's going to be 64. Then again, we can do it by 2 because 4 is in the end. So that's going to become a 32. Then we're going to do it again. We know that because there's a 2, we can take 2. So now 1 and 6. Uh-oh, we're running out of space here, aren't we? It's a big sum. Okay, I might need to continue here, but no worries. Now, 16, obviously that's part of the 2 times table. So we're going to do a, we've run out of space. So I'm just going to continue here. So I'm just going to take 8, and 8 again is part of the 2 times table. So we can divide it by 2. So it's going to become a 4. Obviously 4 again can be divided by 2. That's going to become a 2, and well, 2. Let's take 2 again, and that's going to become a 1. Now there's a lot of pairs in this one, isn't there? There's 1, 2, 3, this and this, 4, and 5. So there are 5 pairs. So we have to take 1 pair each. So it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have to multiply 2 5 times, or 2 raised to 5. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 16 times 2 is 32. Yay! We found the square root of 1024. So the last number we're going to be finding the square root of is 500. Now, so let's do this a bit faster than before because we've got the hang of it. Now, we're going to do this. Now, it ends with a 0, and we know that 2, well, we can do 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. A 10 is going to be carried out. It's going to become a 5, and the 0 comes down. So it's going to be 250. Again, there's a 0, so you can divide it further by 2. So that's going to become a 1, 2, and that's going to become a 10. That's going to become a 125. And obviously we can't do 2 again because it's ending with 5, and so we can divide it by 5. Now, we can't do 1, so let's take 12 with 1, so it's going to be 12. Now, we don't have 12 in the 5 timetable, but we do have 10. So I'm going to put a 2 because 5 times 2 is 10, and it's going to become the carryover 25. So that's going to become 5 times 5 is 25. And now we have 25. Obviously, that's going to become 5 times 5 is 25, so it's going to become a 5 here. And I'm going to do 5 again, and it's a 1. So now let's do all the pairs. 1, 2, uh-oh. There's no pair here. So what are we supposed to do? Well, this question was a trick question. 500 is not a square number. So this way you know if a number is a square or not. If a number is square, all the numbers must, it's a must, especially if you're doing this method, all the numbers must come in a pair. But 5 does not have a pair. So 500 is not a square number. I haven't forgotten about the trick of the day. This trick will help you find the square of numbers ending with 5 very easily. Well, let's take the first question, 105 squared. What would you usually do? You'll either multiply 105 times 105, or remember last time we did 100 plus 5, the whole square. But even that takes a while. And I'm going to find this answer really fast. What do? Well, listen up, because this is the trick for you. So what you're going to do, I'm going to put an arrow here. Now, we know that 5 times 5 is 25, don't we? So we instantly know that 25 is going to be the last 2 digits of the square of 105. Now we have the other one, which is 10. Now what you're going to do is multiply 10 with the next number. What's after 10? 11. So we have to multiply 10 times 11, which is 110. We found the answer. That was really fast. Can I start? Okay. So now we have to find the square of 95. This method is super easy. So let's see how fast we can go. So we know that 5 times 5 is 25. So that's obviously going to be the last 2 numbers. So what's 9 times 10? Well, because 10 is the next number after 9, so it's going to become a 90. So that's your answer. Pretty easy, huh? Hope you liked the video, and make sure to like, share and subscribe to both my channels, Learning Time with Dyuti and my other channel, Reading Time with Dyuti. The link to that channel will be in the description box down below. I'll see you all later. Bye!